Well, fall is just around the corner, so we're talking about one of my favorite topics, and it's transitioning your wardrobe from one season to the next. In this case, we just had Labor Day. Summer is almost over, and so we're going to start moving into fall. And we are going to talk about everything you need to know, what you should put away for the season, how to transition your wardrobe, what you should pack up your stuff in to pack it away for the season, all kinds of stuff. And even if you live in a warm climate, I live in Southern California, so it stays warm year round. There are things that we can do to transition for the seasons. So we're going to talk about that as well. So how do you transition your wardrobe from summer to fall? So fall involves things like layering, adding more neutrals and earthy tones, and introducing warmer, heavier fabrics. So what you're going to do is start integrating some of those warmer fall clothes in with your summer wardrobe, such as you could pair a summer dress with a cardigan or a denim jacket. You could swap out sandals for ankle boots or wear tights under skirts. So when should you switch to a fall wardrobe? Traditionally, as we all know here in the US, Labor Day really, it's the unofficial start of fall. And you know the old adage, no white after Labor Day. Put away those white shoes, no white pants. So where did this no white after Labor Day come about? Well, it actually started in the early 20th century. So 120 years ago, this tradition started, and we're still using it today. Meanwhile, we don't wear any of the things that we wore 120 years ago. So why are we taking this so seriously? We can take it with a grain of salt. It's just kind of a marker, like, okay, not just white has to go away, but like, let's tone things down, go with the richer fall colors. And another thing that is a big marker that we usually get rid of are flip-flops and those really open sandals. And we go for more closed toe, a little bit more formal shoe, but usually, unless you're at a resort, most people have given up on flip-flops after Labor Day as well. If you've looked at the temperature recently, you've noticed it's like we're having a heat wave all over the country, all over the US, and temperatures are crazy right now. And boy, I don't think anybody wants to change out of their summer clothes just yet. So what do you do when, now that Labor Day is past, what should you do? And if it's, 80, 90 degrees out, or even 100, well, here are some markers that you can look for instead of just saying, okay, Labor Day's here, and I have to switch to fall clothes. Here's some things we can do. We were just talking about, let's take a look at the weather. So one day it's like 65 degrees, the next day it's 90, then 3 days later it might be 65, 62, and then back up again to 88. It's just unpredictable. And once that starts to steady out and you notice a gradual decline and the weather starts to cool off a little bit, that is a great indicator for when you should switch out of your summer clothes and transition into fall. Another great clue, I think, especially growing up on the East Coast, is the changing of the season, the fall foliage. When those colors start to come out on the trees, you want nothing more than to really dive into those beautiful fall colors of oranges and golds and reds and browns and greens. I mean, they're just so rich and beautiful, and you just want to cozy up in them. So that's another great indicator. It could also be things like shorter days. I know we're heading into that season where it's going to be dark earlier, and that's another indicator. You might even notice something like you have different birds moving in. Birds are migrating away, and different birds are coming to your area for this time of year. What are your indicators? When do you like to change it up? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear that. And then just like back to school season, we all kind of we've been brought up to get some new clothes for this time of year. The season really changes when you go into stores and you can really start to see all these nice cozy clothes. It's so inviting. So you can start to bring some of those pieces into your wardrobe and integrate them with your summer pieces until the weather gets a little chillier. To me, I think that transitioning your wardrobe is really a personal choice. There is not a deadline that you have to do this, but you'll know, I feel like you kind of know when it's time. You don't want to be cold all the time, so time to break out the sweaters time to break out socks and boots and warmer clothes, that's usually the signal to me, like, okay, I'm sick of being cold and I need something warm on my body. And let's talk a little bit about how to transition your wardrobe. Now, this is something I grew up with. Growing up right outside of Philadelphia, we did see all 4 seasons. And I remember we would pack up all of our spring and summer clothes into a box, put them up in the attic, put our name on it, and then you wouldn't see those clothes again for 6 months until springtime when the weather started to break, around March, April, early May. Then you'd break out all your spring and summer clothes. So this is something I have done for most of my life. I'm used to the change of seasons, and I like seeing that transition to my wardrobe. So you can choose to do this twice a year, which is what I'm used to, or you can do it every single season. If you want to have a fall wardrobe that's all those autumn colors, and then you want to have a winter wardrobe that's all like winter whites and creamy colors, and I don't know, all those light icy blues, all those colors that make you think of wintertime and being cozy. You could have another wardrobe just for winter and then spring and then summer. But I like to do fall, winter, spring, summer. But here is how we are going to do the rotation. There's 5 quick steps to do to organize your clothes for seasonal rotation. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to sort your clothes. You're just going to go through everything in your closet and separate it out by summer and fall. And I'm going to go into those in just a few minutes. So we're going to pop back on this. I'm just going to move on to the second one now. We're going to make sure everything's clean. You don't want to be putting dirty clothes in storage because those stains could yellow. You could attract critters like bugs or mice, and you don't want those, and if they have any odors on them, you don't want those odors to sit in. So make sure that everything is clean. Take it right from the dryer, fold it, and put it away in storage. The next step in this is to store our items. And we're going to get into some storage ideas in just a few minutes. Step number 4 is to retrieve the upcoming season. So we're going to take all of our fall items and pull those out of storage and give them a look. Make sure they're fresh, they're still current style, they still fit you. And now we'll move on to the next step, which is step number 5. We're just going to organize them into our closet. You're going to rearrange your closet so that your most frequently worn fall items are easily accessible. Now, the next thing you might be asking me is, Nancy, how do I know which clothes should go in storage and which clothes should stay in my fall wardrobe? I like to keep versatile layering items like tank tops in whites or white or black or cream, t-shirts, the same thing, and even lightweight dresses. Like if I have a little denim dress that I think would look really cute with tights or a jacket, sweater, yes, that's something I would keep. But anything that's really distinctly summery, that's the stuff you want to pull out, like tropical prints, lightweight linen pieces, beach attire, cover-ups. We'll get into all that. I actually will talk to you more about that in a minute. When you think of it this way, your fall wardrobe should be dominated by thicker fabrics that can be, and darker colors that can be mixed and matched in cooler weather. And if you're not sure what clothes and accessories should get out of your wardrobe and are considered summer, we're going to deep dive the closet and remove all of those summer pieces. So if you're not sure what's considered summer clothes, you just buy stuff, maybe you bought it at a thrift store or secondhand shop or just on sale and you just can't tell whether it should stick around or not, I'm going to answer all that for you right now. In fact, I've made a free PDF printable that you can go and download and print out, keep on your phone. It'll have a little checklist for you so you can check off the items that should be out of your wardrobe for this time of year. In t-shirts and tank tops. Now, unless they're neutral colors like white, cream, black, maybe even gray, I take those out of my closet and consider any other colors like light pink, yellow, light blue, all that out and no longer in my wardrobe for fall. Same thing with shorts. You might have a few pairs that are like navy or khaki, chino, longer, short, that you might want to keep around for a month. But for the most part, shorts are also going to go bye-bye. Short skirts and skirts, the little athletic skirts. Once it hits colder weather, you don't want your legs to be cold. You can take all those pieces, the shorter skirts and skirts, out of your wardrobe as well. Those light and billowy sundresses, they can go. You're also going to get rid of your swimsuits, sarongs, cover-ups, all of your linen pieces, especially those pants, blouses, dresses, any lightweight skirts like midi or mini length skirts. You might be able to keep a few maxis around or midi depending on the color, but for the most part, they're going to move out as well. Any sleeveless blouses, especially the ones made of cotton, silk, or synthetic blends. If you have any crop tops, I know I do not have any in my wardrobe, but if you have any crop tops, you can also take those out for the season. Rompers and jumpsuits, sun hats, lightweight summer scarves, white jeans and trousers, especially those kind of pastel-y looking pants, cropped pastels, those really light fabric, lightweight colors should go out of your wardrobe. If you have any bralettes or bandeaus, you can take those out. Sandals, flip-flops, and espadrilles, all those really summery looking shoes, you can move out. If you have sheer or lightweight kimonos, you can also take those out. And in the dress category, any tank dresses or maxi dresses, you also want to move those into the summer pile. And finally, any clothes that are in your closet that have an overly summery vibe, such as Hawaiian prints, neon colors, nautical stripes. That is what constitutes your summer wardrobe. Now, you've got this big pile of clothes. How are you going to store your summer wardrobe? The reason why we want to store our summer wardrobe correctly is it's going to prolong the life of your summer clothes. So like I said, you want to clean them before storing them, and then you want to choose the right storage solution. Now, my favorite are plastic bins because they protect against moisture and pests. If you're storing somewhere like a garage and it gets a lot of dirt, it will help keep everything nice and clean. I also like to use the clear bins because you can see what's in there. I had made the mistake a few years ago of buying colored bins, and I always forget what's in them. They always get checked. If I'm out looking for something, I always have to look in those because I never remember what I put in them. So I like the clear ones because I don't have to write on there. I can just see what's in there right from the side. Vacuum sealed bags are another good alternative, especially if you're looking for a space-saving option. And they're great for most items. I would not put really delicate items in there because the vacuum seal can cause it to lose its shape. So pretty much anything but your really delicate items can go in those vacuum bags. And if you have items like wool, silk, or leather, even though we're packing up summer, if you happen to have any of those really delicate items, put those in natural bags so that they can breathe. Those fabrics actually need to breathe. And one thing you really want to avoid are cardboard boxes for your storage. Pests can easily get into those cardboard boxes. I know, it's happened to me. And they absorb moisture like you wouldn't believe. So you don't want to pull your clothes out smelling like mold or mildew. You don't want them to get mildewed. So it's not the greatest way to store your clothes. And you might want to even include, based on where you're storing it, you might even want to include a moth repellent like lavender sachets or cedar blocks in each bin. Now, if you have really delicate items, you can wrap them in acid-free tissue paper because this will help avoid creases and color transfer between garments. If you can, I know this isn't always possible, but if you can, try to store your garments in a cool, dry place. Attics and basements are not always the ideal just because of the moisture and the temperature fluctuations. So if you have an area like under your bed or an extra storage closet, that's a great place for those items. Now let's talk about shoes for a minute. So you do want to keep those in good shape as well. You don't want to just throw them all in a bin and be done with it. If you can help them keep their shape either with shoe trees or even some acid-free tissue paper stuffed into them can really help them maintain their shape. And you also want to make sure they're cleaned off and fresh so that when you pull them out next spring, summer, they're not going to look all beat up and you think, oh no, I need all new shoes. So just keep an eye on how you're taking care of those as you put them away, just like you're putting your clothes away clean. And for your handbags and accessories, we're also going to do the same thing. We're going to clean out all of the junk that's in your handbag. I know every time I pull my hand in, I have coins in there, I have cough drops, used tissues, tons of receipts, just all kinds of junk that I don't need in my handbags. And if you want to help them maintain their shape, you can stuff them with tissue paper. You can also hang them, or if they come with a dust bag, put them in the dust bag. And if you don't have a dust bag, a pillowcase makes an excellent alternative. This I haven't done, but it's a good idea, so maybe I'll do it this season. You can put a label on the storage bin so you know what it is. It can say summer clothes on it, so you'll know, instead of doing what I do and digging through all of the bins to find what you're looking for. Just put a label on it so you know exactly what you're looking for, and you'll find it faster. So now those are my tips for putting those things away. Get summer out of the way. And now let's talk a little bit about transitioning technique. So like I said, we've got this fluctuation time that we're in. One day it's hot as can be. The next day it's chilly and raw, and we just don't know what we're dealing with. So here are some techniques that you can do to help get you through this transitional time of year. You can start with layering, one of my favorite techniques. You can wear a summer piece with a warmer fall item over it, such as sweaters, jean jackets, and lightweight coats. You can also start swapping out your accessories. You can put away some of those summer accessories and start pulling out those that are more suited to fall, such as scarves and heavier jewelry. You can also transition your footwear from sandals, closed-toed shoes, flats, or booties. And instead of transitioning all of your summer clothes, thinking, I don't want summer to end, instead of doing that, why not try more transitional garments? These are clothes that bridge the gap from summer to fall, and then they can be worn for many months well into the fall season. So I actually did a whole video on a transitional capsule wardrobe. I think it was either 9 or 11 pieces that multiplied into so many outfits just with those 9 pieces. But what I love about those pieces is that they are essential transitional pieces that will take you all through fall. You can even wear some of them in winter, and they will serve you really well for a very long time because they are like just good basic pieces. So check out that video if you want to learn more about a transitional wardrobe, and it will help you move really seamlessly into fall. Now, I promised I would do this. What if you live in a warmer climate like I do? We really don't see much change in the weather. It might drop 20 degrees at the most. We might go from 75 to 55. We really don't see a real change, a huge change in the temperatures. So what should you do to transition your wardrobe? Now, that may not seem like a big change in season, but when you live here long enough, you do actually notice things change. We do have shorter days. You do get a little, I'm on the water, you get nippier weather, you get a chill in the air, and it can be brisk and breezy. And you tend to dress for the weather no matter what. You don't go in and out of heat. If it's 55, you're kind of dressed for 55 for the whole day. So I still like to change up my wardrobe for the season. And here's how you can do it if you live in a warmer climate or if you're visiting a warmer climate. The color palette. That's probably the biggest change. So those really bright light colors like whites, pastels, and vibrant hues, you can transition into warmer tones. So I don't really do as much of the earth tones and like orange and yellow and green and brown. But what I do tend to do is I'll introduce more navy. Like this is a new shirt. I'll put navy in for fall. I'll do a little bit more black in my wardrobe. I'll wear a lot more creamy colors, and I just kind of tone down some of my brights. Even though I like brights and I still have brights in my wardrobe, most of them they're a little bit more saturated colors, so they can hold their own against a navy or a black. We can also change up our fabrics. So for summer, we've been wearing those lightweight cottons, linens, chiffons, all those really light, airy fabrics, and kind of put them away and go with slightly more structured fabrics. Even if they're still lightweight, some of the things I like to think of are chambray, which, lightweight denim, and even thin wool blends. Fabric with textures like ribbing or slubs that will add a little bit of that fall look to your wardrobe. And for patterns, we can change that up as well. So instead of wearing tropical prints, nautical stripes, and bold florals, transitioning to fall, we can opt for more muted florals, plaids, or even paisley. So what's going to happen is those prints will add a fall vibe. They don't necessarily have to have the weight or the warmth. They can still be cool and light, but just kind of give a nod to the fall season. And as far as layering goes, layering in a warm climate might not mean a heavy wool jacket or a winter coat or even super bulky sweaters. You could think vests, lightweight kimonos, or even open weave cardigans. Now for accessories, we've been wearing beach hats, straw bags, and sandals. Well, to transition that warm weather to a fall vibe in accessories, we can swap to felt hats or fedoras. You can switch to leather or suede bags and closed-toe shoes or ankle boots. Let's talk also about sleeve length. Even if you're in a warm weather climate, you could start to adopt a 3/4 sleeve, such as the one I've got on, or long sleeve tops made with lightweight material. You can also roll or push up the sleeves so that you stay cool, yet you have a fall vibe. Now, as a general rule, what I want you to think about if you're dressing if you live in a warm weather climate, is that you're not trying to completely mimic a cold weather wardrobe, but you're just trying to capture a little bit of essence of the season. This way you can feel the change of the season without compromising on your comfort. Do you have any tips on transitioning from summer to fall wardrobe that I left out? I'd love to know. Put that in the comments below. Don't forget to go download that PDF I mentioned, and I will see you in the next video.